Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Housing. My name is Sarah Eggleston, and I am delivering the weekly update on the real estate market in South King County. And we'll touch a little bit on the nationwide and zoom in to our local area as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. Bring up my slides right here. Perfect. And as I said before, this is This Week in Housing. And it is not Blue Friday today because it will be Blue Monday. So the Seahawks haven't had a game since I've last done my little update here, but they will be playing this coming Monday in 3 days at 5:15 p.m. A little Monday Night Football. So go ahead and tune in and cheer on those Hawks. And as far as the news, Seattle area home price growth continues to accelerate. City's still number 2 in the nation. So for the eighth month consecutive, Seattle has been number 2 to Phoenix in home price growth. So that is really great to see. Our market is almost the strongest in the nation, the second strongest in the nation as far as real estate growth. And here's a chart of that. The Seattle area mapped out as to the national average on home price growth since 2015. So you can see that overall, Seattle has done very well over the last 5 years or so. And excuse me, another point in that article that they brought up that I thought was pretty interesting was normally if you divide our market up into 3 tiers of the most affordable homes sold, the most expensive homes sold, and the third in between. Usually the most affordable bracket rises in value faster than the other two, but the 2 bottom levels have actually risen at a pretty similar rate. The bottom third has risen at 12.5% year over year, and the middle tier has risen 12% year over year. So that is incredibly, I guess, unusual to see for the middle section to be so close on their price growth from the lower third. So I did think that that was interesting and wanted to point that out. And so most home sales, so new home sales mostly unchanged in October from the Associated Press. So this is for the the nation. 1 second. And so the Commerce Department said October new home sales were down 0.3% from September. These are new construction homes. And overall, overall this year, we have seen an incredible increase in demand for these new construction homes. Sales of new homes are up 41.5% from this period last year. But the fact that October remained pretty much the same as September is pretty unusual. Normally, this time of year, we would expect home sales in general to be going down quite a bit at this time. And the fact that new home sales are continuing at the same rate, even in October, is pretty unusual. We did have basically our spring market, which is the most intense market, didn't happen. So that got pushed to summer, and we are still in the trailing busy season, I guess, for real estate, which is, it normally dies off by now a lot more. So if you'll remember mortgage rates last week, we were at 2.72%, which was another new low, and this we are holding firm at 2.72% for the 30-year fixed mortgage. Mortgage rates have generally fallen throughout the year. We've had, forget, like 12 record breaking lows this year. We just keep inching lower and breaking the record. So if you haven't looked into refinancing your home yet, if you have a mortgage, and that would be a great idea now to look into it. We don't necessarily know how long rates will stay this low. We have been given the inclination that interest rates will remain low for the next year or two, but how low is a little up for, oh, we got to wait and see on that one, see what happens in our economy. So if we bring it a little bit more local, we had 325 new listings in King County this past 7 days, 811 pending and 801 sold. And if we bring that over to our graph, you can see the new listings. We had a big drop off last week and an even bigger drop off this week. So even though pending listings and sold homes did decline this week, the pending sales is really what we're looking at, because sold homes, those went pending at 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 5, 6 weeks ago. So the pending listings are dropping off a little bit, but not nearly at the rate of the new listings, which makes me feel like a lot of the decrease in pending listings is due to the fact that there was nothing to buy. So our inventory is incredibly low. So if you are a buyer out there, you should be sitting down with your real estate agent and really setting a firm plan for how you are going to approach your offer. Because I went to another home earlier today that already had multiple offers, just went on the market, and it's a pretty beat up home. It's not that desirable. So people are fighting over these lower priced homes like crazy. So you need to have a plan in place when moving forward. So if we look at national showing traffic, you can definitely see that we dropped off quite a bit on our showing traffic this week. However, it was Thanksgiving holiday, so there's a really good chance that people were busy getting ready for the holiday and just didn't go out and see homes, and we're at home cooking and eating. So we'll see what happens next week when the holiday is taken out of it. So this was from the National Association of Realtors, their economist outlook. Jobless claims rose last week while total claims continued to fall. So nationwide, there are a lot of people that are still going back to work, but with all the new restrictions and everything, there are a lot of new layoffs. So as far as the new claims, I'm actually surprised that we saw a drop in claims overall, because last week, here we are, we in Washington had increased our layoffs by 55%. And if we look at this week, we have decreased our layoffs by 32.1%. So last week we had the new rules enacted, the new restrictions, new COVID restrictions. So a lot of people got laid off last week, but this shows that there's fewer people being laid off this week because they all got laid off last week. And if we look at last week's data, Washington was the highest increase in new claims. And this week we are 9th from the highest decline in new claims. So we hopped over from one side of the board totally to the other side. And I think that's probably because Washington was a little bit, we had all those restrictions placed in last week. So a lot of servers, retail workers, they're all getting their hours changed and reduced or laid off. And I think we were just a little ahead of the rest of the country on that. But Louisiana has had a 325% increase in new claims this week. So even when we were the highest, we were still at 55%. So Louisiana is in a bit of a tough spot right now, it looks like. But if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am here. I love talking about real estate and would love to chat with you about the real estate market in your specific area, or answer any questions you have about the market in general, coronavirus and how that's affecting things, or whatever. So please reach out to me. I am happy to chat with you. And join me next week at 3 p.m. I'll be right back here for This Week in Housing. Thank you and have a great week.